welcome to Lamestorming, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me as always is Ben Slinger.
Good morrow, sire.
Good morrow.
Hail and well met. This is our medieval
Fourth
episode of... No, we're not. I'm not going to talk like that the whole episode. That would be annoying.
Yeah, I can't be fucked.
So yes, you're going to say this is our fourth of Lamestorming, and I think we will do something a little bit new, a little bit different. We've got lots of ideas for different segments, so we'll test out a new one. Do you want to tell our listening audience about what we might do today?
We were thinking that we might do some game remakes. So, unnecessary game remakes is probably a better name for it.
Well, we'll see. They might end up being good and necessary.
Choose a game from the 80s or 90s and try to update it to today's graphics or gameplay modes, or
yeah, we'll just see.
Just try to ruin it with 3D.
Ruin it with 3D, exactly. Yeah, based on sort of the way games are made today, we'll take a look and see what a studio, if they were to buy up that ancient license, would do with it today. So, did you have any off the top of your head, Trevor, that you thought would be
Well, I was thinking, let's go one of my favorite games from back in the 90s.
Yep.
The old epic Mega Games classic, Jill of the Jungle.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was sort of the early kind of side-scrollers on PC, right?
Yeah, it's sort of almost partial Mario clone / something else. I mean, everything was a Mario clone at that stage. Even Sonic's a Mario clone.
Yeah, but I mean, it took a little while for the PC to really get some good ones.
Yep.
And actually the other one was also by Epic, Jazz Jackrabbit at the time.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit later or earlier, I can't remember. I know Cliff Bleszinski was the dev on that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Jill of the Jungle. So this was about a woman who was sort of a bit of an Amazonian, I guess. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and she sort of jumped around. And I can't really remember much. What do you remember about it?
I remember it being had some reasonable animation. It had the typical run and jump mechanics. Instead of being sort of linear levels of start to finish, though, they did have branching paths and having to go find the key to open up.
Right, so a little bit. It was a little bit of like a Metroidvania style thing as well. All right, so I mean, let's just take that basic idea. Jill of the Jungle. She's in the jungle and she has to do something because I don't think there was much story to it. So right off the bat, I like the female protagonist. We often sort of try to bring that in because they're just, there is an underrepresentation there, so that's cool. I don't know. What do you picture when you think of the Xbox One Jill of the Jungle remake?
Well, let's bring her to the forefront of gaming, the pinnacle of female gaming, and not make her like Tomb Raider. I'm thinking
the new Tomb Raider.
The new Tomb Raiders are pretty good, except there is still the emphasis on the very top heaviness of
okay, so she's
of her and the very skimpy outfits. So
yeah,
even though the game did have skimpy outfits, they were very highly pixelated, so you couldn't really tell that they were skimpy. So
there were 2 pixels instead of the 7 that there may be.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that she's just full on fur.
Okay, so she's full on. So it's like
a Tarzan-like.
So it's like
she's skinned an animal.
Oh, I was thinking of Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, like the big fur.
Okay, yep, done.
Coat thing, yeah.
haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it either.
It makes perfect sense.
It's kind of the classic. I think is it a bear skin? I don't know. I think he fights a bear in that movie.
Or the bear fucked him.
I don't know. I didn't say fucked a bear. I said fought a bear.
Oh, he fucked it, didn't he?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Is that why he won the Oscar?
No, maybe. In order for Leo to finally win his Oscar,
really
he had
desperate.
to fuck a bear.
All right, so yeah, okay, that's cool. So she'll almost have like a Gears of War kind of profile. The big, beefy kind of character models. We've got to go third person, right?
Oh yeah, third person. Survival mechanics.
Oh yeah, that's good. So a little bit of, because I'm thinking a little bit of Gears of War sort of style. Because did she shoot things? She shoots things now.
She shoots things now, does she?
Well, I mean, she can have, and maybe this is getting a little bit close to. I mean, well, the bow and arrow is kind of getting a bit played out, hey.
Especially because we don't want to make a Tomb Raider clone.
That's it. Like Tomb Raider, and there's Horizon Zero Dawn coming out on PS4. There's Horizon Zero Dawn. I think she has a bow and arrow as well.
Fuck bow and arrows. What she's got is a big ass fucking knife.
She's just got a knife, so it's like it's all melee. Yeah, that sounds cool.
And she can sneak up behind people and
so there's stealth stuff and survival stuff. So she has to hunt with the knife to survive, cook stuff. So there's a little bit of
the only sort of upgrades is she gets just a bigger knife.
It's just a bigger knife.
Till she's like carrying a machete.
Until it's like a Final Fantasy style taller than her knife. No, maybe.
Awesome.
Well, that's getting to the ridiculous, but I mean, that's kind of what we do on this show, right? Although so far I'm liking where we're going with this game.
So do I actually. I kind of want to play this one.
Yeah, we might need to take comedy out of the title, out of the tagline of our show, because we're starting to just make talk about games we want to play. All right, so let's try to mix it up a bit. Story-wise, is there a protagonist? Like, why is she in this jungle? Was she raised by wolves? Is there
Did you say protagonist or antagonist? Because she's the protagonist.
Maybe she's not. Maybe that's how we mix it up. Maybe she's the antagonist, and it's not even a story. Or maybe I just fucking misspoke. Maybe we need to bring in an antagonist. Some story stuff, like why is she in this jungle? Was she raised by wolves? Is there like a Mowgli situation going on here? Is she gonna meet fucking Baloo?
Yeah, okay. Let's go. That her family was killed by Shere Khan.
Shere Khan, but it's like SHEER, and he's just.
No, I was thinking Shere Khan, like it's voiced by Cher.
Oh, Shere Khan. I believe that I want to kill you.
She walks into the room singing that. Oh god.
Okay, so Cher. All right, so Cher voices the antagonist. Who is it? Still a tiger, or is she just wearing tiger skin, or are we just?
Maybe it's just Cher.
It's just Cher
looking like looking like the opposite of Jill, except she's got like a tiger skin.
Right. So Jill's got like a big bear skin. Cher's got a tiger skin. And does she also have a knife? What's her weapon of choice?
Maybe she's got the bow and arrow.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking, all right. So some of the unlockables, you get like, nobody's done bullet time in a while. I feel like we need to bring bullet time back. So I'm thinking, bullet time is one of your unlockables, and you can like slice the arrows out of the air as they fired at you. So Cher killed her family? Why did Cher? What happened?
Because I think that Cher thought that Jill was going to actually become like the best singer in the world, so she decided to kill her family so that she could continue making shitty music.
Hasn't she seen Batman? Like, doesn't she know about Batman? You don't get rid of someone by killing their family. That just like gives them the strength and gives them the desire for retribution. Like
the drive.
Them. They have that drive there. Like, that's not how you do it. Anyway, I guess maybe Cher's just not a comic book or movie fan or anything else, because Batman's like everywhere. Batman has been ported into every single type of media.
Does this game have the obligatory like city level where she makes it out of the jungle and Jill tries to make it in the city and then goes back to the jungle?
So wait. So Jill of the Jungle has a George of the Jungle level? Who's Tim Allen star? Is he a guest star? He's the antagonist in that level, Tim Allen.
Or Brendan Fraser, who played George of the Jungle in the ill-fated movie.
No, then what was the Tim Allen one?
I don't know. Man of the House.
No, Jungle to Jungle.
Jungle to Jungle.
Jesus Christ. What happened in that one?
I don't know.
Oh, God. All right, Brendan Fraser is the antagonist in that level. Does he have a bow and arrow?
No, he's got a gun.
He's just got a gun. Yeah, and can she still? Yeah, I guess this is a later level, so your bullet time is like then it's literal bullet time, and you've powered it up enough that now you're fucking smacking bullets out of the air.
Well,
That's
maybe it's
awesome.
one of those levels where you get to the end of it, and it's just one of those things that goes into like a movie clip mode where the computer just takes over. You get shot, everything fades out, and you wake up back in the jungle. So you couldn't actually do anything because
right, one of those
waiting
annoying
there.
things where you have no choice but to get hit, even though you might be really good at the game by now.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you had all the awesome weapons, and then all of a sudden they're gone again, and you're back to the start.
The most annoying fucking thing, but yeah, okay, that makes sense if we're bringing it into the modern time.
Definitely. I mean, you've got to have that. You get to the point in the game where all of a sudden you strip them back to absolutely nothing and show them how far they haven't come.
Yeah. Does she at least still have like the sort of innate things like the bullet time? Like, so she doesn't have her mega knife anymore.
Well, let's just take it to the next level. No, she's literally back at the very start.
Wait, so the game just loops?
Oh, I'm not thinking the start of the game, but like this particular level, she's got to go through a mini version of the rest of the game that she's already gone through to try and learn her skills back.
Okay.
Right. We're talking about shitty game mechanics that are from today's games, and I'm just expanding on them.
All right, that's fine. I'll let you have that one.
Or not, because that's shit, and I wouldn't want to play that. So no. In fact, this situation gives her even more drive to do this, and she unlocks all the perks in the game and becomes very, very strong.
Or we completely subvert it, and you think she's lost everything, but then it's like they're just next to her. They just left her. It's like, what can she do with a knife? And she picks it up and gets all her powers back.
If you just turn around, it's like there's a machine gun just sitting there. It's like, unlocked bullet time with bullets.
No, it just said, unlocked bullet time. Not the power, it's just time for bullets now. And so you get to go through the rest of the game with guns.
Nice. Oh, I just thought of a shitty game mechanic that I really don't like in games.
Okay.
So did you ever play The Force Unleashed?
Yes.
So throughout that game, it's like you're getting more powerful and more powerful, and the one thing that you want to do is just start using all the powers to do everything in the game.
Yep.
And what do the game do? It's like, oh, look, we'll give all the enemies throughout the game things that can stop you from doing the things that you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, you got stormtroopers who
can't be like
can't be grabbed and thrown because they've got like this force bubble around them. It's like, fuck off. Just throw more at them.
Yeah, there's
more
a
of them
fine
at me.
balance between letting the player actually get more and more powerful so that by the end of the game, they feel like that they are this mega powerful character versus, I guess, actually making sure there's a challenge for them. But yeah, I mean, that is an annoying kind of mechanic. So we won't do that. By the end of the game...
There should be a way...
By the end of the game,
there should be a way to switch off that shit.
just let you power through the game with all your...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, isn't that what New Game Plus is for?
Yeah. But that's... I don't know. I think some of these games, all you want to do is you want to be the most powerful thing in the room, and they keep on coming up with ways for you not to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if I've gone through all this stuff and I've got all these different things, why can't the enemies be the exact same all the way through?
I mean, they
get a bit of health or something like that.
Balance. Like, they need to decide what sort of game they're making. If they're making an epic game, pun not intended, considering Jill of the Jungle was made by Epic Mega Games. If they're making a game where it's about that feeling of power, then yeah, they should do that. But if they actually want the game to be hard or challenging, I mean, they could up the enemies. Like, you know, in a Star Wars game like that, it should be that you're fighting more and more fucking like AT-ATs and shit. That you have to take down somehow with your powers, rather, you know, and just with swarms of
rather than nerfing your powers.
Swarms of stormtroopers underneath them, and you can just, you know, you have to fight off more of them, and then, you know, there are probably technical limitations to that. But anyway, I mean, back to Jill of the Jungle though. Having
played Dark Souls recently, you know, even the simplest enemy can kill you if you fuck up. But if you don't, it's one of those things where it's actually rather fair in the way that it all works. It's just, you know, the further that you go, the heavier hitting they are, but they're still all based off the same idea. If you can get their pattern, you can actually
I mean,
beat them.
It's a question of taste, I think. Some players like some types of games, and some like, a lot of people don't like Dark Souls because that is actually annoying. That when you're learning the game, one guy can kill you with one hit because you don't know it well enough, and you have to go back. Yeah, there's a balance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
back to Jill of the Jungle
games. So anyway, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for Jill of the Jungle, and I'm noticing that there was actually a trilogy, and the second game was Jill Goes Underground.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we can use that title. There's some cool mechanics there.
Jill Goes Underground in New York City. She rides the subway.
You're fighting through the sewers. You find the Ninja Turtles. I don't know. This game's all about cameos. These games, And speaking of which, the title of the third game in the trilogy was Jill Saves the Prince, but I'm thinking we just changed that to Jill Saves Prince. Prince didn't die after all. Jill came and saved him in this alternate reality game.
No, I'm thinking Jill saves Gears. So she actually ends up in Gears of War, and she saves the day.
So anyway, Jill of the
It's
Jungle.
done by Epic Mega Games, so that'll work.
Yeah, they've got the rights to Gears, yeah. Okay.
What about you? Have you got a early game that you'd like to remake?
Yeah, so this is one that you'll probably remember because I think you were into these sorts of games. Some people might not. And it was probably, I guess, around the same time. Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure.
Apogee.
One of the classic Apogee games where you played some sort of weird alien guy.
With suction cups for hands.
Suction cups for hands, so you could kind of attach to walls, climb up walls. And I think like the only other way you kind of interacted with things was by dropping these bombs, right? There's sort of these timed bombs that you'd put down, and that's how you defeat enemies. And you could drop them off the edge of things, and they'd take a few seconds and then explode. So yeah, I'm thinking there's a lot we can do bringing that into the sort of modern age. Thinking about the story of why is Cosmo...
Of how he became a plumber? With the suction cups for hands, it's just like a plunger and unblocks toilets.
Well, that's just a handy little side job that he's got. That's a mini game. There's a mini game where, like a side quest, you're going through the game and someone notices your hands. It's like, oh, my toilet's blocked. There's a really huge turd in there. Can you come and fix it? No, but I'm thinking like, because it made me think, what sort of like character uses bombs as their sort of main thing? If we're going sort of more like, I'm thinking like the gritty reboot, we're going a bit more realistic. Like this
guy's a terrorist.
So we could kind of go dark. We could go dark here.
Very.
Yeah, I think Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure wasn't set on Earth, but perhaps we set it on Earth in that sort of style of the gritty reboot and set in a city, but he's using bombs to do stuff. So like every time he does this, does he have to like get away from the fucking cops or something? Does he have to hide?
So it's a gritty GTA like game.
Yeah, but all you've got is these fucking gaudy green bombs.
They come out of your ass.
I don't think they came out of his ass.
Where'd they come from though? They kind of come from the bloody suction
wearing
cups on his hands.
Clothes. So yeah, you can use your suction caps to like climb up buildings and stuff, obviously, and get away from people. Drop bombs down on unsuspecting people. And with the physics of today, we can. This game's all about destruction. It's all about blowing things up. Mm-hmm. So we can do something pretty awesome with that.
Okay, so what is Cosmo trying to actually do in this? Because I'm reading here that in the original storyline, Cosmo's parents are taking him to Disneyland for his birthday. A comet hits their ship, forcing them to land on an unknown planet and repair the ship. Cosmo goes exploring, and when he returns, his parents are missing.
So he's trying to find his parents in the original one? All right, well, that's still trying to happen, except his parents are being held in Area 51 by the US government. Now he's a freedom fighter. He's Cosmo the freedom fighter trying to save his parents from the government, the oppressive government of the United States.
Oppressive government of Australia. He's trying to get to Manus Island.
He's trying to get to Manus Island. All right. Yeah, that's okay. So his parents are being held on fucking Nauru or Manus Island, and so it's now we bring some politics into it. It's a political statement in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He has to blast the shit out of it to get them out. That'd be pretty cathartic, actually.
Oh, yeah. And then finally they're trying to get to, I don't know, instead of Disneyland, maybe Sydney's Wonderland or whatever they call that place.
Trying to get to fucking Wobby's World.
Gumbaya Park.
Oh, Wobby's World's been closed for 17 years. That's sort of...
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. All right, so I don't know. I think that's enough for Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure.
You don't think you can go even grittier than that?
Grittier? I don't know. Can we make it darker? You don't think him trying to save his parents from a fucking Australian concentration camp is dark enough?
Maybe he gets involved in, I don't know, devil worship. That's pretty
that's
dark,
not really on
right?
theme. He ate fucking cheeseburgers for health. I'm not sure we can turn him into a devil worshipper.
Okay, so my next one actually comes from the Apogee family as well.
Okay, I mean that was a
Maybe
popular
having a little bit of
a popular company back when we were 10 years old. 12 years old.
I want to know what became of Commander Keen.
So
where is Commander
so
Keen
this
now?
isn't a reboot; it's a sequel. This is
Okay,
This
yep.
because Commander Keen was a kid in the original games. He had his pogo stick. He had just a laser gun, didn't he? He just sort of shot lasers.
Yeah, or a zapping gun or something
Zapper.
like that.
Yeah, and he was trying to fix his spaceship. He'd landed on the planet.
And then I know there was an episode where aliens ate his babysitter.
Right.
I think that's where we last left him before he went into Keen Dreams.
Keen Dreams. Oh, yeah.
That was horrible.
It was like the Mario 2 of the Commander Keen series.
It finished at 6, goddammit. But no, I'm thinking, maybe just like Super Mario Galaxy.
Well, I was just going to say,
Commander King Galaxy.
Did he actually grow up to be a commander? Because I mean, he was a kid. I guess he was a commander because he'd made his spaceship and was commanding it. But did he join?
Okay,
did he join the
so
military?
does this become a real-time strategy then?
He
is a commander of.
He's actually a commander of a fleet of ships.
So this is taking it a totally different way, other than a typical side scroller or
well, that's fine. We've
3D
already
platformer.
we've done This is a very side scroller heavy episode of games that we're taking into the modern day. So yeah, let's do something a little bit different with it. It's Commander Keen, but he's commanding Keens. So he's now 35.
Mm-hmm.
He's commanding a fleet of what? Of
aliens.
Yeah, well, because there's a lot about Martians, right? Like he goes to
Vorticons.
Martians. And stuff. Oh, Vorticons. All right. So wait, is he commanding the Vorticons or is he fighting the Vorticons?
Well, I believe that he actually befriended them at the end of the third episode of the third game.
You and your fucking memory. How do you remember this shit? Or do you just have the Wikipedia page open?
Yeah. Keen defeats Mortimer and his mangling machine and frees the Vorticons, the Vorticon King, and the other Vorticons you haven't slaughtered, and awards Keen a medal for saving them.
All right.
So it turns out that yes, the Vorticons are actually good. So he becomes
the ones you've killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he's now commander of the Vorticons.
Yeah. His childhood nemesis, Mortimer McMire, whose IQ is a single point higher than Keen's. I think, you're going off in, battles against him.
So it's the old schoolyard rivalry with Mortimer McMire still going on 30 odd years later, but now on the battlefield of space. Is that it at that level?
I think so. So you can have, maybe like a Star Wars Rebellion sort of, or Empire at War or whatever it is. The space battles.
Right, so how do we bring those classic Keen elements into this new modern RTS game? Other than we've got the story bits. That's fine. How does he use...
During the cutscenes, he's on a pogo stick.
He's just always on a pogo stick. He's actually a cyborg, and he's been grafted onto his pogo stick because his lower half was blown off by Mortimer.
And in the background, you see like the commander Keen like helmet, the yellow and green thing.
Well, he should still be wearing it, right? He's still Commander Keen.
Maybe.
Or is he Billy Blaze?
Maybe.
Which is apparently his actual name. So, all right. So we're taking that into a modern RTS. He's grafted to a pogo stick.
Or maybe you don't even mention the fact that there's like a pogo stick and like a helmet in the background and like maybe a picture of a dope fish. And the whole thing doesn't even mention
one of the types
Keen.
of ships is like that's the model name of it. It's the dope fish.
Yeah, but you literally don't even mention it that
so it's
he
not
used to
even
be Commander Keen.
Yeah. So it's not okay. So it's not even like an official thing. It's like it's almost a bit of an Easter egg that this game is actually a Commander Keen sequel.
Mm-hmm. It's not even marketed as that. I mean, your character's name is Billy Blaze, but
right. But most people don't know that was Commander Keen's name unless they've read the
exactly
page like I just did. All right. Cool. So what's the game called then? What's the game? Does it just have some sort of generic RTS game?
Maybe it's just Blaze of Glory.
Yeah, okay. That's the sort of bullshit name that games are called these days. Goes right up there with fucking Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, Blaze of Glory. Sounds good.
Oh yeah, Titanfall.
Well, Titanfall's has a bit more punch to it.
Mass Effect. Oh no, that's actually kind of awesome.
Fuck yeah, I love Mass Effect. Oh, you know what? It's getting a bit quieter. I think we might be moving into the Eye of the Storm. So, welcome to the Eye of the Storm. We're just going to plug our shit here. Just going to plug our stuff. A little bit of housekeeping. If you want to find us, you can do so on Twitter at lamestorming.
We're on Facebook, facebook.com/lamestorming.
If you want to email us, you can email us at podcast@lamestorming.com.
We're on iTunes. Please rate, review, and subscribe on there.
You can visit us on our website and listen to our episodes there, lamestorming.com.
We'd like to thank Kurodas for the awesome free use of their tracks, Heavy Space and Mount Defiance.
You're welcome. I'd also like to shout out to the website Zencaster.com. That's Zencastr. They're a podcast recording site which we use. They have a fantastic free hobbyist plan which gives you up to 2 guests and the host in one recording. And it works really well. You can sync up all your tracks. It records locally. Voice over IP built in. It's fantastic.
And we'd also like you to check out our other podcast, Two Sweary Dads. Last week we had a bit of a chat with Janine Sanders, an author who talks a lot about gender equality and how to prevent child abuse and lots of other really fun topics like that. But we had a great conversation.
Yeah, it was really good.
And so check that out. That's episode 25 of Two Sweary Dads.
All right, so let's move into something a little bit different. I think we haven't done this in a few weeks. We did this in our first episode, but let's do a game tie-in for a movie or a TV show.
Awesome.
So I'll go. I'd like to see a video game based on the Tom Hanks classic movie Big. Now let's try to keep away from like the point-and-click adventure, because I know that's always often the first place we head because we love them and because they're very story-based and we can do that. But we got to come up, like there are so many mechanics that we can come up with for someone who can turn from a boy into a man.
I was thinking, you've got the piano level, so maybe you've actually got to you've got to actually pull out this massive inflatable piano and just play it. It hooks into the console.
Well, I think that's maybe just like an Easter egg or like a puzzle in one of the levels. So maybe we're moving a little bit away from the story of the movie.
Okay, so the story of the movie is the quest for a 10-year-old boy to get laid. So
yeah, when you put it that way, it is a little bit disturbing.
So anyway, let's help this 10-year-old boy get laid.
For those who haven't seen it though, oh my god. For those who actually haven't seen it, it's the story of a boy who makes a wish to be big and wakes up as a 30-year-old man. And, yeah, goes off and gets slayed, which is disturbing.
Just
but
creepy.
Other than that, it's a really good movie. But I'm thinking we just take the general mechanic of turning from a 10-year-old into a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
It could always be like maybe a little bit of Hitman style puzzle sort of thing where, or you know, a little bit like that Double Fine game stacking where you have to be in the right form to sort of get through certain parts of the level. Like some parts, you know, they'll only let you through if you're a 10-year-old boy. But, you know, this part of the level, you have to you go on a roller coaster and be tall enough to ride the ride. So you need to go find Zoltan, the Zoltan machine, fucking wish to be big. So you can't just do it willy-nilly. Or maybe later on you learn just to be able to switch at will. So it could be a bit of a puzzle game almost.
You realise the power was inside me the whole time.
The power was inside me the whole time to become a 30-year-old man.
Click my heels 3 times and now I'm big, now I'm small.
Or you just like rip Zoltan out of the machine and carry him around on your back. So it becomes like Banjo-Kazooie. He's just on your back and every time you need back, you just fucking blast a wish out of him.
Okay, so it's kind of like Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, yep.
The first part of the game is, you know, you're going around as the child of time.
Okay.
Or the child of big. And then later on, you know, you get locked inside this room with a Zoltan machine. You wish to be big and you come out and you're an adult and you can
So how long do you have to play as a kid before the bigness aspect comes in?
Well, I don't know, maybe...
Is that just the tutorial level? Is it the classic fucking Japanese RPG that like your mum wakes you up in the morning and tells you it's time to go to school? And you go around and talk to everyone in the town as a kid and go to your friend.
Well, they could have a bit of you know, life to it because, you know, you're spending a bit of time as the kid and then you realise that there's a whole heap of things that you can't do, so you're really wanting to be big. So by the time that you actually get the bigness, you've been wanting that bigness for a while.
Right. So
it's not like the first thing that you do is, now I'm big.
Oh, it's a Zoltar.
There's got to be a reason for you to want to also be big, just like the child wants to be big.
Zoltar.
So he's...
Zoltan was I think Zoltan was the bad guy in fucking Dude, Where's My Car? Zoltar. Anyway.
Zoltan. I actually did the hand signal then.
Of course you did. Yeah, so I feel like this game's sort of turning into a variety of different genres, but that's okay. So it starts off RPG style. You walk around the town and you get to know people and you go meet Billy and there's a mini game where you have to do the little banana, bobana, fana, babili, whatever. Like, do you remember?
Yeah, I don't actually remember it. I know Tom Hanks still remembers it though.
Does he?
Yeah, he did it on
that's awesome.
Like James Corden's live show. I'll send you the link later on.
Do an episode that's just movie tie-ins with all Tom Hanks movies. Actually, I have another Tom Hanks movie on my list. Anyway, don't worry. Next time. Yeah, so you go around the town, you meet everyone, and then so it's a little bit story based at the beginning, but then it becomes so you find the Zoltar machine.
Mm-hmm.
Is this where the game diverges because now you just carry the Zoltar around and you can turn big whenever you want, or does that come later?
No, I don't think so. I think that's got to come later. I think that's got to be like the halfway point.
It becomes like almost like a portal game where you're going through different sections and there's a Zoltar machine at some point in the level.
Oh, yep.
That will turn you big or back again, and you have to, be big at the right times or not, to get through the level. Move shit around. It's just pushing blocks and stuff. You have to be big to push the big blocks. You have to be little to crawl through things. You have to be big to seduce the woman. You have to be little to get away with like stealing shit. I don't know. To play with the toys, like in the movie.
Oh yeah,
well,
I reckon that'd be.
He doesn't need to be little to play with the toys in the movie, but
no,
that's the whole point.
So, is this actually like an alternate universe big? So,
where Trump isn't president? Oh,
ooh. No, that'd be an awesome universe. I'm thinking a bad universe, like, everyone's got goatees and stuff.
But only when you're big.
But only when you're big.
Because,
otherwise, a 10-year-old with a goatee, that's just weird. But anyway, you go to work as the big, and you go for the big.
Big. I love it. We just call him the big. When he's big, he's just the big.
Okay,
yep.
So big goes to the
big.
The big goes to the FEO Schwartz building or whatever it is.
Yep.
And he totally fucks up, and the CEO fires him.
Play awesome chopsticks on the keyboard.
No, I think he goes to play chopsticks, and he plays like the Leisure Suit Larry theme,
and and that just like offends the boss.
Yep, but I'm thinking that he gets fired, and therefore he realizes that being big isn't so good, and maybe he's then trying to become small again, nice and quick.
Well, I figure by this point there's not even story anymore. It's just turned into a puzzle game.
It's a pure puzzle game.
And then once you discover that when you're big, you can this is the thing. What happens if you wish to be big when you're already big? Like,
then you turn into the giant.
Yeah, then you're just double big, and that's when you discover that you can rip Zoltar out of his machine. Use this
you become the child, the big, or the really big.
Yeah, the child, the big, or the big.
The big.
And the puzzles just get harder. But then, that you're carrying it around on your back. But you can only carry it around on your back when you're big or big. So that's part of the puzzle. If you go to the kid, then it's too heavy.
If it's on his back when you go to back to the kid, it's like it just snaps his back, and he's like, ah!
You lose health.
And
you lose health.
Game over.
You have to have dropped it by then.
The child just snaps in half.
Jesus. It's like fucking Inside, that Xbox game from recently with all the brutal kid deaths.
Yep.
The kid just dies in the most horrifying ways.
That had Limbo.
Yeah, well, exactly.
What type of view is it? Is it like a third person? Is it a isometric sort of puzzle game?
No, I'm thinking it's third person. I think I'm picturing it kind of in that like Banjo-Kazooie kind of mode almost.
Mm-hmm.
Or like did you ever play Brothers? That Brothers game?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Two Brothers.
The
Yep.
Two Brothers game. Just that sort of thing with like fixed camera. You're moving them around.
Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah, because that
was kind of weird. That control though.
Well, because you're moving the two of them.
Two sticks.
You're not doing that in this one. Well, until you accidentally wish to be big and not big at the same time, and you just split in two, and then you're controlling big and not big.
Or maybe to keep it closer to the movie. Once you prove to your friend Billy, was it?
Billy, yeah.
Maybe he then maybe the whole thing is that you're trying to find the Zoltar machine.
Right. Okay.
And so you control Billy with like the left stick.
So we're actually just stealing it.
Yeah, it's just brothers.
Well, I mean that can be one section. Apparently, they're just taking different sections. This game's just going to be the be all and end all of every different genre.
Oh yeah, they get into one part and it's like, what the fuck? This is a portal gun.
Yeah. No. Well, once you get past the puzzle bit where you can be not big and big, then it just becomes the first person shooter. You just wish for a gun. It's like, fuck, this Zoltar thing can do anything.
He gets to the end of that and goes, fuck, I wish I had like plungers for hands.
It becomes Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure. It's actually the surprise prequel. Surprise prequel to Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure. All our games today are linked.
Yes.
Because then Cosmo goes into space and meets the fucking Vorticons or whatever they were. Turns out.
Okay, so my tie-in that I was thinking of.
All right. Yep.
Dexter. So
Dexter.
I really like Dexter, and I always thought, this could actually be a bit of a fun game where kind of like the anti-Rainbow Six sort of game.
Okay.
Where you're planning to actually, you're trying to stalk someone. You've already set up, okay, this person's going to be at this place, and you've got to try and get into the house and do capture them without letting the other occupants know that you're there or something.
So how is
like
that the anti-Rainbow Six?
I just thought,
just because you're capturing people, just because you're not killing them sometimes.
Well, you're only wanting to kill the bad guys, so maybe you've got to go through the evidence collection, then you've got to...
Right, okay.
So you've got lots of different modes that you can go through.
So it could almost have an aspect of like LA Noire, where...
You're doing your blood spatter
you're doing your blood spatter analysis
people.
And you're interviewing people. There's a bit of actual detective work to make sure you've got the right person. But then once you've got the right person... Yeah, it becomes like a stealth.
It becomes a Rainbow Six.
Yeah, you kind of have to do the stealth stuff and capture them. And then it becomes Surgeon Simulator.
So you're traveling in the back of this ambulance.
Yeah. Whoops. It's all right though, because you've got all your plastic sheeting up. Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter if you kill them. Took the heart out.
So you keep them alive as long as possible to like make them suffer.
And then it becomes viscera cleanup detail or whatever. And if you don't do a good job, then
if you don't do a good job, then
you get caught. You leave evidence behind. So it's again lots of different games all in one.
And then when you're throwing the body pieces off your boat into the water, it's like Dr. Mario.
It's Tetris.
Yeah. You can't let it reach the top.
This is a leg. It's a line.
If it reaches the top, then you'll be found out. You filled the entire fucking ocean with body parts, piled them up. I'm not sure.
You put it down, it's like...
Yeah, I'm not sure what what the explanation for when you create a line of them that they disappear is, but...
I'm just picturing, you put down the leg and it's like, it went just slightly off.
The current took it.
The current took it slightly.
Didn't go into that hole.
Oh, no, I reckon it's definitely got it. It's definitely got a few...
All right, so
interesting ideas that you could do.
How else could we explore that a little?
Well, how else could you explore the universe of
Dexter?
Of Dexter. You've got your sister. 4.
Yeah, nothing exists after season 4 of Dexter. There was no more Dexter after season 4.
Come on, there was season 6 with Tom Hanks' son.
I did watch some.
Colin Hanks.
Yeah, it went downhill after season 4 though.
It went downhill after season 6 actually. Season 6 was the last good one.
Well, I can't remember how far I watched, but I think the problem was the end of season 4 was fucking
amazing
that nothing could ever live up to it.
Yeah.
It did start going downhill from there.
Yeah, but that's only because there was nowhere to go but down.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of couldn't live up to that.
When you go to the heights of John Lithgow all the way through season 4 to not John Lithgow, it's...
Yes, exactly, to not John Lithgow. That was the problem.
Who'd they replace, extra character with? It was the chick from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, she was in season 5, I think.
Yeah, that just didn't work. But then they got Tom Hanks' son, so that was alright.
Yeah. I don't think I watched after season 6, actually.
I watched through to the end. There's actually... Well, hopefully I'm not spoiling it for people, but if I am, well, it's a fair few years old, so get over it. His sister actually finds out at the end of season 6 that he's a serial killer.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that.
The next 2 seasons are dealing with her knowing and trying to get him help and all this sort of stuff. So maybe you can have an extra level where he's going off to a therapist or something like that.
Well, that's where the LA Noire stuff comes in. You got to read the emotions and things.
Mm-hmm. You want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. All right. So one more movie tie-in, and this could go in a few different ways. The Klumps with Eddie Murphy.
Haven't you mentioned this before?
Did I? I think I brought it up.
I think you mentioned it in the first.
I probably did, but we didn't do it. It was such a good idea. We need to figure out what sort of game you'd make from the Klumps.
Okay.
So, how many of them are
what
there?
have you got
There
in
are a
mind?
lot of them, right? So the game mechanics we have are there are a bunch of them, and they love to fart.
Okay.
So I'm thinking kind of maybe a bit of a Lost Vikings sort of thing, where each of them have different powers.
So in other words, you're just tying it back into early 90s games that you want to remake, and so you've decided to make Lost Vikings.
No, I'm just saying
as the Klumps.
That's just where I got that particular game mechanic. Like yeah.
I actually quite like that.
Yeah, that's just one of the games that had that sort of game. Like a lot of games do that sort of thing, where different characters have different abilities, and you have to use them at the right time. That's just one of the ones that did it well early on.
Is Buddy Love the antagonist?
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so.
And so do they know that it's actually their son at the moment?
Do the Klumps know?
Yeah.
Well, wait, well, you switch back and forth. Oh, can he switch back? I can't even fucking remember this movie.
They're all Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah, I knew that much. That's about all I knew.
I think the Klumps actually had Buddy Love and the other character that Eddie Murphy played in that.
The other character.
The other character that was the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
I think he was actually able to play both of them at the same time because Buddy Love actually was a separate character in the movie Nutty Professor to the Klumps.
Right. Well, I'm thinking let's just base it off the idea of the Klumps, maybe not the specific movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we're making a Klumps game.
Yep. So it's Lost Vikings. So, you've got to have
and I'm
got
not
to have like the shield
talking...
character that you can jump on and climb up.
Yeah. So
I think the grandmother has to be a character.
Yeah, because who is there? There's the grandmother, his parents, and his brother, right? And then
and then they've got
the Nutty
like
Professor himself.
Hercules.
Yeah, that was his mum, right?
Yeah, but his like nephew or whatever was.
Oh right, yeah. Okay. Well, he's just a projectile. You just throw Hercules. Like he just destroys shit. You like bash him through walls and stuff.
Okay, kind of like that.
Yeah.
The brother power.
The brother is like the shield sort of character. Like he can lift you up higher because he seems like he's pretty tough guy.
Pretty strong.
Sort of strong.
If the dad tries to do it, he hurts his back and he's just...
Yeah, if you forget to switch, then he's like out of commission for a while. No, I think the Nutty Professor himself, I think he can switch back and forth between Buddy Love and... Like that's his power, is when he needs to get into like smaller places.
Or get into
like
a lady's pants. He just switches.
Or like seduce someone. He can switch, so he's got a certain, you've got a certain amount of the potion or whatever that he uses.
Oh yeah.
And so you got to collect it and stuff.
Yeah, you got to collect the ingredients.
So was the grandmother in a wheelchair?
No, she was walking.
She was walking. Right. That would have been useful. Well, who's got the best fart power?
The mum.
The mum. Well, they all
or the grandma.
Yeah, maybe the grandma. Maybe the grandma. That's her power. She's just got the power of amazing flatulence, so she can like launch people up, or like
nasty
blow things from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe the mum and the dad aren't even there. It's
okay,
characters.
So, what do you reckon their whole mission is to save the mother?
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah.
Or save the father.
Save the father. Well, maybe both of them. Just so we don't have to come up with something for the mum to do.
So it's the grandma,
the brother, and
the Nutty Professor, and / Buddy Love,
and Hercules the projectile. Well, he's like a special move, like a special character. Like you call Hercules, and it plays the like Hercules, even though the mum's not there. And he comes slamming in and runs into shit, breaks it.
So. Okay, antagonist. Who is captured
common
the parents?
Decency? Sales of this game? I don't know. Someone who wants the youth formula, I guess. It's a brand new. It's the long lost Klump.
Norbert. Hang on, no, that was a different film.
No, it's fucking Norbert.
What about Dave?
Oh god. It's Dave from Meet Dave.
Meet Dave.
So it's like a guy full of...
Or Pluto Nash.
It's Pluto Nash. Oh, shit. It's bloody... Oh God.
It's Eddie Murphy in Delirious.
It's just Eddie Murphy. It's just Eddie Murphy playing Eddie Murphy. Is it young
in both
Eddie Murphy when he was making good movies, or is it? It's old Eddie Murphy. He's come back from the future to stop himself from making the
Vampire in Brooklyn.
What did you say, Vampire in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Oh, he's unfortunately got way too many bad movies.
I'm just thinking, I really didn't like Boomerang. I really didn't like Meet Dave. I really didn't like Pluto Nash.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion was one of the better ones.
Pluto Nash is good for how bad it is, though. Like, that's one of those sort of movies that you can watch to just see what a sort of a train wreck it is.
You can see that if they had the money, they probably could have made it somewhat better.
Yeah, there's some specks of gold in that turd.
But if you keep on polishing, you just see more turds. So, well, Ben, what do you reckon? Should we actually start development on these turds?
No, I don't know where my polishing rag is.